The sea's roar swallowed Lila's scream as the motel room's shattered wall exposed the jagged cliff edge. The drop into the churning waves a mere step away. The shadowy figure's hand lingered on her shoulder, its touch a cold void that seeped into her bones, while Ethan teetered precariously, his fingers slipping from hers. The journal hovered in the air, its pages ablaze with glowing script. The choice is will, the words unfinished, trembling as if awaiting her decision. The whisper, now a deafening chorus, thundered through her mind. Give it, or he falls. The clock on the nightstand flickered to 06:45 p.m., August 21, 2025, a cruel marker of time she might not survive. Lila's will frayed, her thoughts a chaotic swirl of instinct and fatting memories. She could feel her agency slipping, the entity's influence coiling tighter, promising to hollow her out if she surrendered. Yet Ethan's desperate plea, "Don't let it take us," echoed in her ears, his weight pulling against the edge. The figure's void face split wider, its grin revealing a maw of shifting shadows, and the journal's pages tore, reforming into a mirror-like surface reflecting not her face, but a hollow shell with glowing yellow eyes, her potential fate. She lunged forward, grabbing Ethan's arm with both hands, her feet sliding on the damp earth as the cliff crumbled beneath them. The whisper laughed, a sound that rattled the motel's remaining walls, and the figure's hand tightened, dragging her will like a tether. "No," she shouted, her voice raw, channeling every ounce of resistance. The journal pulsed violently, and a new entry scrawled itself. "Will given but not broken." A surge of energy threw her back, the figure recoiling as if burned, its form dissipating into smoke. Ethan collapsed beside her, his breathing ragged but steady, his eyes clearing of the yellow taint. The journal fell to the ground, its pages blank once more, but the whisper lingered, softer now. The debt bends, not ends. The sixth choice looms. The cliff edge stabilized, the sea's roar fatting, but the motel room was a wreck, furniture overturned, windows gone, and the air thick with an unnatural stillness. Lila's head throbbed, her will intact but weakened, a hollow ache where her resolve once stood firm. They stumbled to their feet, the car miraculously intact outside, its engine rumbling to life as if summoned. As they drove away, the coastal town receded into the dusk, but the rearview mirror caught a glint, yellow eyes blinking from the cliff's edge, watching. Ethan's hand rested on hers, his grip trembling. "Did we win?" he asked, his voice small. Lila couldn't answer. The journal, tucked under her arm, pulsed faintly, and a new page began to form, its script too faint to read. The whisper returned, a promise in the silence. The sixth choice will demand more. The road stretched into the night, the past a void, the future a shadow laced with dread. Had her partial surrender saved them, or merely delayed the inevitable? What would the sixth choice extract, and could they withstand it? The unanswered questions loomed, a specter in the dark, as the car carried them toward an uncertain horizon. The car's headlights cut through the thickening dusk, the road a ribbon of uncertainty stretching into the unknown as the clock on the dashboard ticked to 07:15 p.m., August 21, 2025. Lila's hands trembled on the steering wheel, the journal's faint pulse against her thigh a constant reminder of the entity's lingering presence. Ethan sat beside her, his head resting against the window, his breathing uneven but steady since their escape from the cliff's edge. The yellow eyes in the rearview mirror had vanished, but the weight of the whisper, now a low, insistent hum, pressed against her mind. The sixth choice looms. They drove in silence, the coastal town a fatting memory, its shattered motel room a testament to their narrow survival. The landscape shifted, the twisted trees giving way to a sprawling forest, its canopy dense and oppressive, blocking out the last traces of daylight. Lila's fuel gauge hovered near empty, and a sign loomed ahead. "Welcome to Hollow Pines, population unknown." The name sent a chill down her spine, and the journal's pages fluttered without wind, a new entry beginning to form in faint, jagged script. She pulled over, the car's engine sighing into silence, and opened the journal. The words burned into her vision. The sixth choice is trust. Give it or lose it. Ethan stirred, his eyes meeting hers, clouded with a mix of fear and exhaustion. "What does it mean?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Lila's mind raced. Trust, hers to give or theirs to lose. Surrendering her trust might mean relinquishing her skepticism, her defenses, opening herself fully to the entity's influence. Losing it could fracture their bond, leaving Ethan vulnerable to possession or driving them apart in paranoia. The whisper clarified, "Trust me, and he is safe. Doubt me, and he is mine." The forest seemed to lean closer, its shadows shifting, and a distant howl pierced the stillness. She stepped out of the car, the journal in hand, the cool night air biting at her skin. Ethan followed, his footsteps hesitant, and together they faced the forest's edge. A path emerged, winding into the trees, marked by glowing symbols identical to those from the basement door. The whisper grew louder, "Walk the path. Trust or fall." Lila's heart pounded. Walking meant committing to the entity's game, but refusing might doom them where they stood. She glanced at Ethan, his face pale but resolute, and felt the fragile thread of their trust, tested, strained, yet unbroken. They stepped onto the path, the ground soft and uneven, the symbols pulsing underfoot. The forest closed in, the air thick with an earthy scent laced with something metallic. After a few steps, the path split two directions, each marked by a symbol. One glowed red, the other blue, and the whisper intoned. "Red for trust given, blue for trust lost. Choose." Lila's breath hitched. Red might bind her to the entity, but blue could sever her from Ethan, leaving him to its mercy. The journal's pages tore, revealing a sketch, Ethan alone, surrounded by yellow eyes, and another of her, a hollow shell leading him to his doom. Ethan grabbed her arm, his voice urgent. "I trust you, Lila, whatever you choose." The weight of his words crushed her. If she chose red, she might save him but lose herself. If she chose blue, she might protect her will but risk his soul. The forest groaned, branches creaking as if alive, and the symbols flared brighter. She stepped toward the red path, her hand trembling but hesitated, the whisper laughing, too late to turn back. The blue path pulsed, and Ethan's grip faltered, his eyes glazing over with yellow. A sudden gust knocked them forward, and the path beneath them shifted, merging into a single trail leading deeper into the forest. The journal flew from her hands, hovering ahead, its script rewriting. "Trust given but twisted. The choice begins." Ethan stumbled, his body twitching as if fighting an internal battle, and Lila lunged to catch him, her trust in him and in herself shaken. The forest swallowed them, the path narrowing, and the whisper promised. The sixth choice unfolds. Survive or be consumed. They pressed on, the trees whispering their names, the journal's glow guiding them into darkness. Had her choice bound them to the entity, or merely delayed its victory? What lay at the path's end, and could their trust withstand the trial? The questions hung heavy, the future a tangled web of dread and hope, as the forest closed in around them. The forest tightened its grip as Lila and Ethan stumbled along the narrowing path, the journal's eerie glow casting distorted shadows that danced like specters on the gnarled trees. The clock in Lila's mind ticked to 07:30 p.m., August 21, 2025, a relentless reminder of time slipping away as the whisper swelled into a cacophony. The sixth choice unfolds. Survive or be consumed. The air grew thick with a rancid stench, rotting flesh and damp earth, and the symbols underfoot pulsed red and blue, merging into a sickly purple that seeped into their shoes, burning their skin. Ethan's breathing grew labored, his hand slipping from Lila as his body convulsed, yellow eyes flaring fully now, no trace of the brother she'd fought to save. "Lila, it's too late," he rasped, his voice a grotesque blend of his own and the entity's. The journal hovered ahead, its pages tearing themselves apart, revealing a final entry in jagged script. "Trust given, trust broken. The debt is paid in flesh." Her stomach churned as the path opened into a clearing, where the shadowy figure stood, its void face now a writhing mass of teeth and eyes, towering over a pit that pulsed like a living wound. Lila's will, already fragile, shattered as the whisper commanded, "Step into the pit or he is mine forever." She froze, the forest groaning as branches lashed out, pinning her arms. Ethan, or what remained of him, turned, his yellow eyes locking onto hers with a hunger that made her skin crawl. "Join us," he said, his mouth stretching into a grin that split his face, blood trickling down his chin. The pit below churned, revealing writhing forms: Clara, the waitress, the gas station clerk, all melded into a grotesque tapestry of lost souls, their eyes pleading yet accusing. Tears streamed down Lila's face as she struggled, her trust in Ethan now a twisted mockery. The journal fell into the pit, its glow extinguished, and the figure's hand seized her, its touch searing her flesh. She screamed no, but the whisper drowned her out. The choice is made. Ethan lunged, his teeth sinking into her shoulder, the pain excruciating as his humanity dissolved. The forest erupted in laughter, the ground splitting as roots dragged her toward the pit. She clawed at the earth, her nails breaking, but the entity's hold was relentless. With a final, gut-wrenching yank, she was pulled into the pit, the writhing mass enveloping her. Her screams faded into a wet gurgle as her body merged with the others, her face contorting into the same hollow, yellow-eyed stare. Ethan stood at the edge, his form now a perfect vessel for the entity, his grin widening as he turned to the forest. The whisper settled into a satisfied hum. The debt is whole. The next will come. The clearing fell silent, the pit sealing over with blackened earth, leaving no trace of Lila or the journal. The car sat abandoned on the road, its windows fogged with an unnatural mist, yellow eyes blinking from within. The forest stood still, a mausoleum of their failure, and the night deepened, carrying the faint echo of a new whisper, seeking its next victims. The future remained a void, stained with the horrific certainty of their unfortunate end, leaving only discomfort and unanswered dread.